Today we're going to have a look at standard deviation then. And standard deviation is another measure of spread. It's a good measure of spread because it does use all the numbers that you are given. Okay, and instead of it just telling you the difference kind of between the highest and the lowest, excuse me, sorry, it tells you how far values are away from the mean. So it deviates how far they are away from the standard. That's the way that's where the name comes from. The formula for calculating standard deviation, there's two of them. They're both shown here, and they will get given on your formula lists. You don't need to memorise them, but you do need to know how to use them. Okay. In this first example then, I'm going to look at the first formula. Second example, I'll look at the second formula. Looking at the first formula, which is this one here, I'm going to go through just what some of these things are to make them less scary. This here is a Greek letter. It's called sigma, and it just means the sum of. So it means add them all up. Okay. X is your numbers in the list. X bar is the mean. That's just X with a line on top. Make that a bit clearer. So X with a line on top is called X bar. That is the mean. Square root sign, still your square root sign. That doesn't change. And the last thing we don't know about then is n, and n is how many numbers we've got. The symbol's very similar in the second formula, but I'll leave those just now. We'll go through them when we need them. Okay. First one then. If I want to find the standard deviation, first thing I need to do is find the mean. Find the mean the usual way. Add them all up and divide by how many numbers I've got. You get 1 mark for the mean. You don't need to show working for it, but you do need an answer. So we're doing 10, add 16, add 11, add 15, add 13. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers, so I'm dividing by 5. So 10 plus 16 plus 11 plus 15 plus 13. That comes out to 65. Divided by 5 gives us 13. Next thing we're going to do then is draw up a table. First column of the table is going to be X, which is just the numbers in the list. You don't need to change the order of them or anything, just the order they're given in is absolutely fine. So we've got 10, 16, 11, 15 and 13. We're then going to do X take away X bar. That's X take away the mean. That's whatever number we've got in here, take away 13. So the first one, I would do 10 take away 13, and I'd get negative 3. We then do 16 take away 13, and I would get 3. And so on. So 11 take away 13 is minus 2, 15 take away 13 is 2, 13 take away 13 is 0. If you add up this column, this is just a good idea as we check, as long as you haven't done any rounding here, you should get 0. Okay, if you end up with a mean that's a decimal, you've rounded to get that, then you won't get 0 here. But if you haven't, you should get 0 here, because you're looking at how far all these numbers are away from the mean. You're taking the mean away. To find the mean, you're getting exactly halfway, or the exact average of these numbers, so it should always come out 0. The next column then, we want to do X minus X bar squared, and I've just noticed that I've still not fixed this in my formula list. This here, standard deviation, there should be a squared here. It's the sum of X minus X bar all squared. So to get that part in our formula, we need to square each of these numbers. So we're squaring our answers. Now when you square a number, you always get a positive. Okay? If you type into your calculator negative 3 squared, it might well come out negative 9, because you need to put a bracket in. You need to put bracket negative 3 bracket squared. Or you can just realise that it's always going to be positive and not bother putting the negative into your calculator. So negative 3 squared is negative 3 times negative 3, which is 9. 3 squared is 9. Minus 2 squared is 4. 2 squared is 4. 0 squared is 0. Add them up. Because this symbol here, the sigma, means the total of, so you want the total of this part here. So 9 add 9 is 18. Add 4 is 22. Add 4 is 26. Now, when we're looking at our standard deviation then. It's the square root of the sum of x minus x bar all squared all over n minus 1, which looks horrible, but we've done most of the hard work. This number here, this 26, is this full top line. Okay, so that becomes the square root of 26 over n is how many numbers we've got? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so n equals 5. So we're doing 5 minus 1, which is the square root of 26 over 4. Put that into a calculator. Square root of 26 over 4 equals 2.55. Now it's worth checking that on your own calculator just now to make sure that you are confident typing it in. Okay. What I would suggest doing just now is pausing this video and going, in fact, I'll make a separate video. Scrap that pause part. Okay, what I would do just now is I would try a couple of questions, just calculating the standard deviation, try and using that formula, a table just like that. Okay, as ever, any problems, please get in touch.